Hello everyone, Johnny Mind here, and today we are starting a new Let's Learn Japanese with series. And yeah, as I mentioned the last time, and you have seen in the thumbnail, we are playing Metroid, the thumbnail and the title. I wanted to play it, as mentioned, because of course Raven 4 has just come out in occasion of that, and also I've discovered that there are at least a couple of Japanese writings, so yeah, we'll check those of course for the Let's Learn Japanese part, and yeah, of course then also to play our first Metroid game for the channel, and so in the future play other ones as well. Yeah, without further ado, let's start. Okay. Yeah, not the special ones. Yeah, the regular one. Here it is. Not much to say about the box art. I've seen it Pasha in the thumbnail, but yeah, in Japanese it's called Metroid. So yeah, just like in English, except of course for the additional O for to and do. As I've said before, usually the vowel that you add in Japanese to make, because of course Japanese, apart from on its own, doesn't have a consonant that can stay on their own. So yeah, to reproduce the sounds from English and so on, they usually add vowels, more often than not but of course in the case of both t and d, they can't, because the syllable tsu and zu, du, zu are like that in Japanese. Tachi, tsu, te, to, da, ji, zu, or zu, de, do. So yeah, to keep the sound t, d, they add o instead. And yeah, they can't add e either, because for the same reason. Yeah, just as a reminder, but we have mentioned this also before in previous series. Yeah, other than that, there's also in katakana, even though we can barely see it here because it's so small, Famicom disk system and so on. Can't even see properly myself, but yeah, without further ado, we can actually start the game. And yeah, we have the title screen. We can see Metroid again. And now it flashes. And yeah, now we get this, the capture, because I think it goes, yeah, it goes away, of course. Yeah, then it goes back. So yeah, we have our first and main writing. There isn't much after this, but yeah, we check this for now. And yeah, this is practically the story. Actually, more than you could find at the time in other games, so yeah. First and foremost, we start at the top, of course, and it says Kinkyu Shire. Notice the rei mostly pronounced re in standard Japanese, but yeah, can still be pronounced rei instead. But yeah, often you hear it as re. First and foremost, okay, perfect. Sorry, because I saw an issue with OBS. But yeah, we have first and foremost Kinkyu, which is a Chinese compound. As a reminder, by Chinese compound, I mean those usually technically not strictly compounds in the sense of the ones that follow certain rules for the accent, as we have seen in previous series. But yeah, for Chinese compounds, I mean the combinations of two Chinese characters, two kanji, with the Chinese pronunciation, so usually. But yeah, as we have seen, most of those you are unaccented. We'll see if this one is as well. And it is Kinkyu. Yeah, it's technically a noun. Urgency, emergency. But again, one of those nouns that can take the genitive case particle, the possessive particle no, and in practice work like adjectives, even though again they're technically nouns plus possessive particle. Also, I see here on the dictionary also as a na adjective, so yeah, those adjectives, in this case properly technical adjectives, that use na, you have to add na after them to modify the following noun. So yeah, technically there are both ways to make the adjective in this case. And so yeah, urgent, but in this case we see actually without anything, and we simply have after that the word shire, again another Chinese compound. We check its accent, but its meaning is order, directive, instructions, command. Yeah, order is the fundamental one. Well, better command, because technically there are two shire. One that is command as in order and so on, the one I mentioned, the one you'll find more often than not. Technically there's one that means command also as in commander, commandant. But yeah, in our case, most likely, again, also based on the context, as we'll see soon enough when we translate, but yeah, command as in order. And yeah, it's unaccented, luckily, as usual. Yeah, I completed Kirby last time, SKS. Of course, you can check it out later when there are the VODs as usual, so you can watch it if you are curious. And yeah, so we actually started Metroid. There are some Japanese writings, well, mostly this one, which we are tackling immediately as it's at the start, but yeah, after that we'll play Metroid in occasion of, as I mentioned, Prime 4, which has just come out practically, and to start finally playing Metroid games, and yeah, so that we'll play also future ones in the at some point. But yeah, as I was saying, then we have Kinkyu Shire. So yeah, in our case, urgent order. And so yeah, Kinkyu clearly as in an adjective, even though we don't have neither no nor na. But yeah, it's implied. And yeah, after that, Shire. And so order as well, we said, so urgent order command directive. After that, we have Wakuse Zebesu no Metroid o Taoshi, Kikai Seimeitai, Masa Brain o Hakai Seyo. And yeah, actually, an actual sentence in this case, way longer one. But yeah, we'll start as usual, step by step. First and foremost, we have Wakuse. I think we might have seen it before, or at least I mentioned it. But yeah, the way, another Chinese compound, as you might have guessed. It means planet, as you might have also guessed based on the following word. But yeah, Chinese compound, luckily also an accented Wakuse. Notice in this case, as a reminder, that the U in ku is barely heard, if at all, because it's between unvoiced consonants. So yeah, Wakuse, Wakuse. And yeah, so planet. And yeah, after that we have Zebesu. So yeah, simply Zebes, the proper name of this planet, of the planet where this game takes place, with the famous planet Zebes. After that we have no, and so yeah, the possessive particle I mentioned also earlier. And so, off, planet Zebes. After that, yeah, modifying off planet Zebes, modifying the following word, which is Metroido, yeah, the titular species, titular enemies. Yeah, so the Metroids, I should say. We can see yet again, like we've seen before in previous series, that Japanese, while it has ways to make the plural of words with pluralizing suffixes, in some cases the doubling of the word, and so on. But yeah, the same word, word usually can have a singular or plural, can be singular or plural, even without adding these suffixes, doubling. And yeah, of course, we have, especially with a word like Metroido, yeah, we will definitely not add z like in English. And yeah, so in this case, they simply prefer to keep it in general Metroid, but yeah, clearly based on the context, as we see Metroids, more than one. And yeah, so simply in general. So the Metroids of planet Zebes. After that, we see the object particle O, written as wo and pronounced as such in careful speech and also singing. And by the way, yeah, this is why while in regular writing it's not used technically, but yeah, when we write everything in katakana, like in this case, yeah, then of course, if we have to write the object particle, we have to use the kana for wo in in katakana instead of the usual one in hiragana for the particle. But yeah, so the object. And after that we have the verb taoshi from taosu. Actually, I think it might be accented, but we'll check. We've seen it at least once, I think, in a previous series, but yeah, it means literally to throw down, to bring down, to blow down, to fell, to knock down. But yeah, often, especially in these games, by extension, it means to kill, to defeat, to beat, better to defeat, I'd say. To beat. But yeah, so, of course, by extension, if you throw, bring, blow, knock someone down, yeah, you defeat them. And yeah, in our case, the Metroids, of course. Yeah, taosu, as I mentioned, accented. It's a u-verb, godan verb. So, by changing the u into i, we can make the continuative form. In this case, required because we use it in a similar usage, similar to the te form. To make, in practice, we could say an and. Defeat the Metroids of planet Zebes and then, of course, there's the rest of the sentence. As for the difference, well, the te form, as we have seen, has several more meanings and usages technically. Well, technically also this continuative form, but yeah, the te form even more so, arguably. But yeah, usually more formal, this usage of the continuative form to make and, while the te form is the more common one. So yeah, while you'll definitely see this again, the te form is the one used the most, of course. But yeah, in this case it makes sense also considering that what this dialogue technically is. Well, we actually already know because it's above. We've already seen it. An urgent command, order, and so on. And yeah, so makes sense for it to use this form. After that, so we can continue with the sentence. And we get technically quite the compound. In this case, an actual compound, as in not the simple Chinese compound of two kanji, which I mentioned before. These are technically two of those. Actually, we have 5 kanji in this case would be, so quite a lot. But yeah, first and foremost, we have kikai, which is one of those that I call Chinese compounds. Technically, the term in Japanese is kango. And yeah, so simply Chinese word, literally. And yeah, so a Japanese word technically of Chinese origin. Unaccented, by the way, since it's a Chinese compound, as I've called them. But yeah, here we have kikai. Notice again the E of ki barely heard if at all, because it's between a voice consonant. Kikai. Kikai means machine. There are technically more kikai, one that's actually even more common, actually, so I'll mention it even though it's unrelated in this case. The other one, kikai, accented by the way on the ka. So be careful, it's an exception for these Chinese compounds. Could be that it was theoretically accented on the ki and so on the first syllable. Still not as common as the unaccented words of this kind, but it's the second most common position for the accent in these in the Chinese compounds. But yeah, it could have been technically there, but most when it's barely heard, if at all, the vowel, then move the accent to the next free syllable, more better in this case. But no, actually, better syllable. Usually, the one before it, but yeah, in this case, of course, there's nothing before it because it's the first one, so goes on the second one, so on the ka, kikai. Yeah, so could be accented like that because of that. But yeah, still be careful since it's not unaccented like most. But yeah, the other one, the most common one, you can distinguish them by the accent, by the way. Both are accented that way. When we'll see the kanji, the second kai, the second one, the kai, is different depending on the word. But yeah, the most common translation would be chance, opportunity, occasion. But yeah, as we'll see in our case, also based on the context, it's the one for machine, mechanism, and so on. But yeah, instrument, technically, appliance, apparatus. But yeah, the fundamental translation, machine. And yeah, after that, we continue with the compound. We have se, me, tai. Technically, first we would have se, me on its own. Se, me on its own means life, existence, also by extension one's working life, career, or life force. Yeah, fundamental meaning life with those extended meanings, which makes sense from life. But yeah, in our case, simply life. And then we add another kanji to make the word, the one for tai, which I've actually mentioned before in previous series. It's the one for the word body. Technically, there's another one I think we've also seen before. But yeah, this is the one which has the strictly Japanese reading karada. Karada, which is the word used on its own, the strictly Japanese word, which is used more often than not for the word body in Japanese. There's another one which uses the other kanji, which has this meaning, but yeah. This is the most common one, karada, unaccented. Yeah, tai, it's the Chinese reading. So yeah, literally, se, me, tai. Unfortunately, the accent isn't present here on the online dictionary plus plugin combination, so I'll actually check the physical dictionary in a second. But first, its meaning. Literally, we would have life and then body. But yeah, in the sense, actually, as in life form. Life form is the meaning. But yeah, you can see why from body. And then life, we get this life form meaning. I'll quickly take the physical dictionary. Okay, got the physical dictionary. And let's check if we can find it. Technically, in this case, even though we might not be able to find exactly this compound, even though I searched that first and foremost, we might see Thai as a suffix, because in this case it would technically be a suffix, which we add to se, me, as we have seen before. But first let's search if we can find it fully. Okay. Let's see. Actually, I've just seen that according to the I don't think I've mentioned it yet, that actually seme on its own is accent on the first syllable, so be careful, but it's the second most common position for the accent in these Chinese compounds, as I've mentioned for kikai. So this one is accented there. So actually you can distinguish it from other seme, which are unaccented, like most of these Chinese compounds. Unfortunately, there's another one, seme, on its own, also accent on the first syllable. And actually a common word, by the way, which is the one for full name or family name and given name. But of course context helps in that case, because they're quite different in usage. Let me see. Seme Thai isn't present on the dictionary. We'll see if I can find in between the suffix part of this dictionary Thai as a suffix, even though I'm kind of worried, because even though we might find it, might have a different meaning. No, actually, by the way, it's not mentioned. There's another Thai. Actually, two. One which is always makes always the word unaccented. The other one which can be either that way or be accented before the Thai itself, so on the last syllable of the main Chinese compound. But unfortunately, there's no way to know for sure in this case. There's no way to be completely sure. My guess would be potentially before it, but could be also unaccented. The good news is that this is a bigger compound with the kikai before it. And so in this case, as I mentioned, I've actually checked it, because technically the dictionary mentions that it depends on the kind of words we add, but more often than not with such long words, usually the ones of Chinese or such long words, in the sense that there are technically so many kanji, usually with the Chinese compounds at the end. The accent was where I mentioned. The most common place is on the first syllable of the second part. So in our case would be kikai semetai, so on the se. So low, high, high, high until the se, and then low from the e technically, even though it's part of the same syllable. And after that, because as a reminder, the accent means in Japanese, it's a pitch accent, so it's a matter of the pitch, low, high. And when I mentioned that word is accented, it means that the accented syllable is the last syllable, which is high. After that, everything is low. So in our case, as I mentioned, kikai semetai. So the full compound, of course, means machine technically, so mechanism, so clearly used in our case more as an adjective, even though technically again it's a noun, but so mechanical life form. And you might make sense considering that immediately after we have a proper name, Masa Brain. And Mother Brain, a pretty famous Metroid boss. We'll actually check the accents of the two words on their own. They're from English. Notice, of course, again, first and foremost, that we have, as usual, the long A, because, of course, Japanese doesn't have the vowel R, like in English, mother. And so, it becomes A, the closest one, and then also longer. And is it often longer, sometimes not, but more often than not longer. Reminds of such longer vowels, for example, in car, instead of car, for those who have these sounds, car, with a longer vowel, like in received pronunciation of British English. After that, also notice that we have Z, because of course, mother, Japanese doesn't have the sound, voiced th, and so it becomes the closest one, which is Z. Masa, and so simply mother from English, accented on the first syllable, so just like in English, mother, and so masa, so high, only the ma, and then everything else low. After that, we have brain from English. Here we can see an example of adding e, because b on its own isn't available in Japanese, so we add e, brain. Actually, often, as I see it also here in, technically can also be written brain, like in this case, but can also be found as brain with a long e, with the long vowel mark, like the one seen in masa. And both exist, but the accent in that case, but yeah, should be the same also for with the re-in version. But yeah, the accent is on the re, so yeah, actually just like in English, luckily. We have seen that there are some words with different accents. More often than not, in that case, unaccented they become in Japanese. So yeah, you have to remember more those exceptions and then simply put the accent for the other ones, like in English if it's from English and so on. Yeah, so Masa Burain. While technically each word has its own accent, here it might be considered a compound. In this case, most likely, we would keep one of the accents of the two words. My guess would be most likely the second one, as we have seen, that usually happens. We have seen already an example of that before in a previous series. But yeah, so in our case, Masaburein. So yeah. After that, we have again the object particle O. We have Hakai, another Chinese compound, as you might have guessed. Means distraction. Disruption also says in the dictionary, but yeah, distraction is the fundamental meaning. And it's unaccented as usual. It's a noun, but it's one of those nouns that we can turn into verbs by adding the verb suru. Unaccented literally means to do, and so yeah, to do, distraction, literally. Suru, unfortunately, is completely irregular. So we have to we have to simply remember how to its conjugation. In this case, it's a peculiar one because it's the imperative form in plain speech, but the most common one nowadays is shiro. Shiro is the actually I want to quickly check in the physical dictionary the accent of shiro. I think should be still unaccented, considering that suru is unaccented, but we'll see. Now I have to find it, but hopefully I should. But yeah, this is that's the most common form of the plain speech for suru. In contemporary Japanese, technically it's the spoken form, and so actually the more common one technically, but there's a written form of the imperative of suru, actually as we'll see also of other verbs, but let's focus on suru for now, which is the one we find here, seiyo. So yeah, be careful, both are imperative forms, and it's simply a matter of usage. Yeah, this one written, so more formal, even though we are in plain speech technically. The other one spoken, and yeah, it's the more common one actually in practice. But yeah, you see again this seiyo. I wanted to quickly check. Let me quickly find it if I can. Okay, I found this part here. Okay. Yeah, I'm quickly checking it because yeah, not this one. Just to tell you exactly the accent for this, since we'll see it's a good occasion for them. Okay, yeah, now I finally found Suru. But not this. This is actually another thing yet again. Okay. Getting close to it. Okay, yeah, I managed to find it. And yeah, okay. Shiro is, I was correct. Well, not exactly. It's actually accented on the last syllable. Although in pronunciation, words accented on the last syllable when we don't add anything else are pronounced the same as unaccented syllables. You can distinguish between the two only when you add something, usually, well, for nouns, particles, more difficult for verbs, like in this case, because, yeah, this is a form you find, like we see here, at the end of a sentence, so yeah. But yeah, good thing I checked, because I thought that was the case. Seyo, on the other hand, is accent on the first syllable, so se, high, yo, low. So yeah, be careful. And yeah, as we'll see, other verbs, I'll mention it already. This is something about the reverb, incident verbs that have technically both two forms, just like suru. And yeah, again, one with ro, and is the one actually the more common one. Again, okay, we should be fine. Again, the one with the spoken imperative in plain speech, and so actually the more common one. And one with yo instead. So yeah, one simply actually changes the u at the end and with o. The other one drops through and adds yo. And yeah, mentioning it as well, in the case of an accented verb like miru, luckily the accent is like in the dictionary form, the final form in the present affirmative is on the first syllable, on the miro, mio. It's a different matter when we have an unaccented word, because then actually the accent is for the ro on the last syllable, so on the ro itself, again, just like shiro. When for the yo form is on the syllable before the yo, some actually have two forms, but let's not worry about that. Let's keep it similar. Let's keep it regular, just like similar to say yo. So actually on the syllable before the yo. But yeah, after this, it was worth mentioning since it's actually to see finally the accent of these forms and also the explanation. But yeah, after that, we actually have at the end of this part here, Ginga, Renpo, Keisatsu, Emu, and then either read as 510, and so in Japanese, Gohyaku Ju, or maybe also number by number, but yeah, we will still use Chinese numerals, so Go, Ichi, 0. But yeah, honestly, in this case, I'd say simply go for 510, and it feels the safest one. But yeah, first, let's go in order. We have Ginga, another Chinese compound, as you might have guessed. This one means galaxy. Technically, also the Milky Way. So the Milky Way specifically. But yeah, simply used also for galaxy in general. Technically, I think that there should be other ways to another word for Milky Way, while for galaxy nothing comes to mind at this moment. I'll quickly check. Nope. Well, this is the most common word for galaxy, and yeah, so first and foremost, galaxy, the fundamental meaning. As for its accent, it's actually accent on the first syllable, so be careful about that. After that, we have Renpo. Notice, first and foremost, OU, pronounced as actually long O, Po, and also the N before the Po, because Po has the P consonant, so a bilabial consonant, N becomes actually the bilabial nasal M, so Rem actually in pronunciation, unless you pronounce them one by one, Re, that in which case it would be Re, N, Po, U, so as N. But yeah, when pronounced quickly, but yeah, regularly, better, yeah, then it becomes actually M. Yeah, Renpo, another Chinese compound, means federation, also as in confederation, commonwealth, union. But yeah, the fundamental meaning is federation. Its accent is unaccented, okay, so as usual for Chinese compounds. So yeah, the galaxy, we could say even better as a adjective, technically galactical federation, even though technically in this case I'd say you could keep it also as the galaxy federation, but yeah. a galactical federation. After that, we have Keisatsu, another Chinese compound. Quite an important one, this one, because it means police. Is unaccented, so luckily regular. Technically can be used as an abbreviation for also the terms of police officer and police station, but technically there actually are words for those that add a suffix to keisatsu, respectively kan for officer, as we see also in other compounds with this suffix eventually. It's one of those, as I can see also here with the accents for keisatsukan specifically, accented on the syllable before kan. So technically would be on the tsu, but since the tsu could be pronounced as with the vowel barely heard if at all, because it becomes by adding kan in between unvoiced consonants. Then, as I mentioned, then we would could move the accent on the previous syllable, and so on the sa. Keisatsukan. I quickly check if also the physical dictionary mentions that the kan, words with kan always being accented on the syllable before it. We'll quickly see. Let me see. We have several ones technically. This one, not this one actually, it's another one of these. Actually not present here, but yeah, apparently the rule would be based on keisatsukan before the kan. The word for police station, on the other hand, is keisatsu sho, by adding a sho. Which means station as in police station, in this case, or a government office. Actually, accent on the last syllable, so on the show itself, so be careful. I doubt I'll find this one, even less so, because it's not a common suffix, but I'll still check quickly. Yeah, no, I could find again the show, which we have already seen for place in general. Another show, which a quite common kanji, which is the one for to write, writing. But yeah, not this one, as expected. But yeah, after that, we simply have emu, of course, in this case pronounced just like in English, but we have to add the u vowel. Again, because on its own isn't present in Japanese. We get it in words like rempo, but yeah, because after it there is po. There's the p sound. But yeah, on its own, m becomes emu as the name of the letter. Accented, luckily, on the accented in this case, accent on the first syllable, yeah, just like in English, M. And then the number, Gohyakuju, as I mentioned, I quickly take also the other dictionary, physical dictionary, to check the accent of that. Okay, got the physical dictionary. The other one, because it's the one where we have found these accents for the numbers. Let me quickly find it again, but yeah, it's right at the very end, and here it is. Because first we would have 500, and yeah, just like in English, we have the number 5 on its own, go. In Japanese, here we are speaking of Chinese numerals, which are the most common ones, especially considering that the Japanese ones, the ones used still to this day, technically stop at 10. Yeah, there are some counters that require them, the counters with a strictly Japanese pronunciation, but yeah, more often than not, the most common numerals are the Chinese ones. But yeah, in our case, we have go on its own accented. And then we have 100, hyaku, accented on the last syllable. Yeah, it is on its own. And yeah, I'm saying on its own because yeah, when we combine them, and this is why I got the dictionary, then the accent changes. And yeah, for example, to make go hyaku 500, luckily it's one of the ones that keep the accent as hyaku. There are some exceptions, but yeah, in our case, go hyaku on its own 500 would be accented just like hyaku on the last syllable. After that, we have ju, 10. So yeah, 5 times 100, so 500, plus 10. So yeah, actually in this case, just like in English. 10, which is ju on its own, accent on the first syllable, well, accented simply. Because the accent can't stay on the longer vowel, it stays on the syllable as a whole, and so actually on the first part of a syllable. And yeah, in this case, we have a single syllable, 2 mores, which are a smaller, also called beat in Japanese, haku, as we have seen before. Should be accented on the first syllable, haku, if I recall correctly. Which means beat. It's the Japanese word for mora. Mora is the Latin one. But yeah, these moras are smaller units, can be the same as syllables, but also smaller. And yeah, they mostly correspond to one kana is a mora usually, with the exceptions of the small ya, yu, yo, because those count together with the bigger kana. So, for example, Q, which we can see here, ki, yu, Q, with the small u at the top. Yeah, that's Q is a mora. Q, u, with the longer u, is a syllable. But yeah, a syllable of 2 moras, Q, and then the u, which becomes then the longer vowel. But yeah, also the on its own is a mora. But yeah, clearly part of the syllable kin. Yeah, again, as a reminder, we have seen this before, these concepts before, but yeah, it's worth repeating them. But yeah, so ju, accented. But yeah, when we combine this go hyaku with ju, then we should check the accents. If I can find, I have a table here, but of course it isn't exactly like those. Well, we have Gohyaku, which is perfect. And then we, with the combinations of these parts, well, in our case, I think the accents should be the same as Nana, the strictly Japanese pronunciation for 7. And yeah, so most likely, I'd say that Gohyakuju is actually simply accented on just like Ju, and so on the Ju itself. Gohyakuju. So yeah, actually much easier than you might think. Yeah, as I see here, more often than not, these compounds of numerals. Well, there are some exceptions, so we'll see. But yeah, these ones, for example, are usually actually simply accented on the based on the accent of the second numeral. So in our case, 510, and so on the accent of the 10, which is Ju accented. And yeah, so with that, we have finished this part. We'll take now our usual break, around 5 minutes. And after that, we'll actually start playing the game. And yeah, actually, we with this, we have finished, we have seen most of the writings in the game, I think. There's a little something which we'll see actually at the very end, I think. But yeah, this was the big part for the Japanese. But yeah, of course, we'll still play the game for this lesson, and yeah, until we beat it, of course. But yeah, see you in around 5 minutes. And we are back. Yeah, so we can continue the game where actually started. Okay, we actually have some additional writings here. So we tackled this already. You might recognize this setup, this screen, and also actually the writings. I'm pretty sure they're actually the same. Because they're the ones seen also in the Legend of Zelda, which we have already played for the channel. But yeah, above we see first and foremost Serecto Ste Kudasai. So yeah, Serecto from English, of course, select. Technically, in that case, even though it's from select, it's used on its own as a noun, and so would actually be selection. But of course, it's one of those nouns that can become verbs by adding suru, as mentioned, just like we have seen before in this very episode, as already mentioned. And so yeah, literally to do selection, so to select. Suru, which in this case we have the te form. Unfortunately, suru again is completely irregular, so we simply have to remember that it becomes ste. Should be unaccented, and notice again that she, they barely heard if at all because it's between a voice consonant, so ste. The form required to then add kudasai. Kudasai is from the verb kudasaru, accented on its own. It's one of the verbs which means to give. This one is honorific, as in respectful, because it's the verb used when a superior gives to someone inferior. And yeah, makes sense since it's used as if we were to write it in kanji. Nowadays it's not used anymore, but yeah, it would be the kanji for low, bottom, and so also descend, and yeah, so from the top to the bottom. Also physically is my guess, again, because most likely in the past the superior stayed actually higher than the inferior, also physically. In this case, since it's after the form of another verb, it actually means do the favor of doing the action of the verb in te, so yeah, do. And so actually, as we'll see soon enough, it becomes then the please do the action of that verb. Because actually, we don't have kudasaru on its own in this case. Well, it's not kudasaru. It's further conjugated. It becomes kudasai, as we see here. Technically, we would make the continuative form by changing the u into i, because it's a u verb codon verb. But instead of getting kudasari, we have kudasai. We could say by dropping the ru and adding the i, but most likely it was kudasari originally, then the r fell, and so only the i remained. It's an exception, as we have seen in previous series, typical of certain honorific verbs like kudasai, kudasaru. We have seen also gozaru, just to make another example, gozaimasu. But yeah, in our case, kudasai becomes the continuative form, technically required because while nowadays it's not used anymore except for certain expressions, we would have had to add masse, the imperative form of the verb mas, the auxiliary verb, which is used to make the polite forms of verbs in Japanese. So would be kudasai masse, then masse removed, implied. And yeah, so we have literally would be do the favor of doing a selection, so do the favor of selecting. But yeah, in so simply the imperative in the polite speech. So yeah, please select. And yeah, so we have to please select here. I actually have already a file here. I think maybe because I tested it once. We actually go into the kill mode as we have seen there. Well, with kill mode literally. And yeah, we have this option at the end, which is the one I chose at first. It says kill, again directly in English, and then owaru. Owaru is the verb, which means should be unaccented if I recall correctly, which means to end, as in something ends. It's the intransitive form of the verb. The transitive one is oeru. Actually, again, most like we see another combination of the intransitive form of a verb in aru, the transitive one in eru. The intransitive one most likely is a classical form of the passive. And so yeah, be ended, and so yeah, something ends. But yeah, regardless, yeah, owaru, to end, to come to an end, to finish, and so on. But yeah, to end, the fundamental meaning. And so yeah, the kill, as in the kill mode, ends. But yeah, actually we want to choose this file to delete it. Yeah, we have chosen it. By pressing kill owaru, I'll actually first go back, because that was the screen that we would get by choosing this other option. Ohayou gozaimasu. Gameを見てもいいです。Of course, even watching the game is okay, is perfectly fine. And yeah, owaru is finish. And yeah, that's that. Yeah, after now I'll quickly I'll explain the writings here, but yeah, after that we'll start playing the game, and of course the next in the next episodes we'll practically exclusively playing the game, as there aren't other writings. But yeah, sorry if this first part is focused on the writings, but yeah, we literally have them here. And yeah, as I was mentioning, we have Namae Toroku. First and foremost, we have Namae, which we have seen before, again in Zelda, for example. It means name. Now on its own would already mean name, given name. But yeah, namae is the one you mostly used for name, especially the given name, the first name. Also unaccented, by the way, namae. And then after that, we have Toroku, another Chinese compound. Should be unaccented if I recall correctly, and it means registration, accession, register, entry, record, subscription. Again, a noun, unaccented, just like most Chinese compounds. And yeah, we could make, of course, the corresponding verb by adding suru. In this case, we technically simply have name, registration. But yeah, we'll choose it now, actually. And yeah, above we can see again Namae Toroku. At the bottom, Toroku Owaru, again, so registration and, as in the registration ends. But yeah, so we can actually write the name, and yeah, as I did before, I'll actually write it again. We'll choose Sa, Mu, Su, and so yeah, Samus is Samus' Japanese name, right? Simply Samus. Of course, notice again the U at the end of Su, because we don't have S on its own in Japanese. So yeah, we can end the registration. And yeah, so we actually have our save file, and yeah, we can finally start playing the game. And yeah, now game wo hajimemasu. And yeah, I'll start the game. I start the game in Japanese. Yeah, actually we get this writing quickly. Because actually it's loading. I quickly, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to explain it in time. Yeah, I took the screenshot because of that. Yeah, we have this form, Omachi Kudasai. Let's quickly explain it. First, we have the O, the honorific prefix. Then we have machi, from the verb matsu, to wait, accented. We can change the U into I to make the continuative form. It's because it's a U verb codon verb, so we can do so. So machi actually should be accented on the last syllable, should follow the rule. In this case, the continuative form required thank you. Arigato. Yeah, I went for the name of the hero, and was told that my Japanese is good, so I thanked for that. Yeah, as I was saying, we have this continuative form. In this case, required because when we make the continuative form of a verb, add the honorific prefix before it, and after that we add kudasai, which we have already seen. It's a form to make the imperative form actually for the honorific form of the verb. This one is a respectful one. So actually, when we are the action refers to a superior. In Japanese, it's actually more complex because there's the whole matter of uchi and soto. But I think I've actually introduced it in a previous series, but we'll see it again later. For now, simply know that it's an honorific form, in particular a respectful one. But yeah, so actually it's simply with this Kudasai and Kane, please wait in our... yeah, so, because the game was loading. But yeah, so we can actually go back to the game. And finally actually start it. And by the way, I mentioned it last time before starting at the end of the previous series. I'm actually keeping a map on the side, technically a guide, but I won't use mostly the guide, but yeah, especially mostly the map, of course, because as you might know, yeah, the start button does nothing, only pauses the game, but yeah, we don't have a pause screen, we don't have a map, as you can see, not even on screen now, yeah, so just to have the map mostly, because if possible, oops, yeah, this doesn't help. Oh. And by the way, if needed, I will rewind if needed, because again, the show must go on, as I say. But yeah, of course, only if needed. I try not to use it if not necessary. Oh yeah, perfect, we got some health back. Okay, we get these enemies. Okay, we should go up now. Yeah, we can't go down, as we can see here. There's nothing, so yeah, we have to go up. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, while I check the chat, of course, still only occasionally, of course, because I have the map open on a tab, so I have that open most of the time, but yeah, I will still check from time to time. And yeah, as mentioned there, Marumari in Japanese, literally as for in Japanese. But yeah, let's be careful here. This move, nope, wasn't my best attempt there. Oh boy, yeah, let's actually, as soon as I mentioned, we want to use unless necessary, but yeah, definitely took way too many hits there. I think it's this door. By the way, I haven't finished this game myself yet. I haven't finished it before. I think I have to go down. And yeah, that's also why I'm keeping a map. I have played it in part. I've actually played more than the original, the remake, the GBA remake, Zero Mission. And we'll eventually play that as well. But by the way, I wasn't sure if we would play this game anytime soon, because I was thinking of that exclusively at first. but that has the issue that it has the two options with the kanji and only kana, but yeah, if we pay it only once, and of course when with kanji in that case. But yeah, we actually got some our first missiles. And yeah, so actually now that we have the missiles, we want to actually go back to get another item. The missiles, you activate them by pressing select, and yeah, that you get that graphic. I could have actually used one to show it there, but I didn't know that the missile will show up there immediately. Yeah, these are nice to recover health, actually fundamental in this game, but let's hope we don't need them too much. And yeah, I use rewind also to avoid losing too much time there. Apart of course from trying to not waste too much time to play more of the game for each part, and also finish the series earlier. But yeah, I'd also like to get if not the best ending, at least a good one or a decent one, not the worst ones, which yeah, if I didn't keep at the very least the map, it would be careful here, that will definitely be the case. And yeah, we actually I think this is where I wanted to go then. Or maybe I took okay, yeah, I think then up, further up. Let's see if I'm correct. Yeah, I can already hear the typical music. Oh boy, want to go back. By the way, since we are playing the Famicom version, as you have seen, you have the save files a la Zelda. But as you might know, that isn't the case in the... oh boy, surrounded by enemies here. That isn't the case in the... outside of Japan, where there's the infamous password system. Yeah, let's actually try to jump there. Okay. So that I can then move. Yeah, these enemies are quite annoying, to be completely honest. Ah, barely. Okay, let's actually keep... not too little. Okay, yeah, so we can get some health back. Let's jump up here. Yeah, we needed the missiles for these. Because we have a red door. Yeah, you need 5 missiles to open it. But yeah, as we can see here, we have an item. And yeah, based on the icon and also the L on it, yeah, it's the long beam. I wonder if I can... yeah, I can get down here as usual, but yeah, there isn't anything for now. Okay, let's actually move on from for now. Let's continue. And yeah, now we actually have to... oh boy. First and foremost, we have to leave this room unscathed. Or at least not die. Actually, it went way better the way when going the other way around. But yeah, we actually now have to continue. We have to go back. We'll go like this. Okay. Funny enough, I played more of this game, more than on its own, when I played the NES Championship. Currently forgetting the full name. Let me quickly check. Well, I think it's because I actually have a Japanese copy. It's called, it has Nintendo World Championships, Famicom Sekai Taikai. And yeah, that's actually the Japanese title. But yeah, I think in English was something like I'm forgetting, but yeah, it's a reference to the competition at the time, NES tournament, and so on. But yeah, it's that game. You know the one. Or at least you can look it up based on the information I gave. Okay, yeah, we have to now continue here. In a straight line for a while. Before that, the most I played technically of this game was in WarioWare. Speaking of course, we'll eventually play that game as well. Well, all the ones available on... Oof, we have to be careful about these enemies. Oh boy, yeah. Doing this without ammo isn't the best here. Let's be careful here. Oh boy. Yeah, because it actually took way too many... Yeah, no, that's... I think it's supposed to be lava. Or actually the I think the acid of Green Star. As seen also in Smash Bros. Yeah, other way it's dangerous. Although honestly, it allowed me to avoid all that nonsense above. Boy, these enemies, I have to... Sorry, but I have to test if I can... Okay, I can defeat them, but they take a lot of hits. Well, most likely, less so with missiles. We can actually quickly test it. Well, not like this. Yeah, actually, a single missile is enough. But oh boy, yeah. Let's enter it again. Make the jump this time, thank you. Oh boy, yeah, a lot of slowdown. That's actually got more heal that way. And yeah, actually we finally get an energy tank here, as long as I can come up. And yeah, we finally can heal and have way more health. And yeah, actually we have to continue here, still. Oh boy, these enemies. Those enemies along with the ones, they kind of looked like they were three combined in a way. Yeah, these are the most annoying enemies so far, for sure. This one's even more so in a way. Okay, yeah. I think we have to go up here. Yeah, enter this door to get one more item. Yeah, these enemies, I think it's actually simply a mouth or claws, and only the part above it, it's the head. Oh boy, we have the stronger variant, but we simply ignore it. Let's jump here. Oh boy, I don't have missiles, and yeah, that's an issue. Okay, we got some here. We have to defeat the enemies to get more of them. Yeah, I need one more. That one. Okay, perfect. Apart from taking the hits there, of course, but yeah. What matters is that we have the missiles. And yeah, so we can activate them and use them to open this door. And yeah, actually the enemies can still hit you. And yeah, quite important here because it's one of the power-ups I think actually required to beat the game. There are other ones that are simply optional and simply convenient. But yeah, these are the bombs, quite important. Okay, now we are actually going towards Norfair. And yeah, so let's move on. And yeah, we actually have to go back for a pretty good... we have a relatively long way to go. But yeah, nice to have the bombs to finally have a way to attack also these enemies. I'm forgetting their name. They're a classical Metroid enemy, but unfortunately I don't know their names well enough to remember them on the spot. And of course don't know, practically straight up don't know the Japanese names. Might have seen them on wikis at some point, but yeah. Okay, let's continue. We'll actually learn more about Metroid enemies when we play Prime games, as of course you can scan in those. Well, definitely Prime Remastered, since we have first and foremost, since it's on the Switch. I'll have to see what if there's also the matter there about kanji and kana modes. Honestly, if it were simply kanji with furigana, so the phonetical kana above kanji to tell you the reading, that would be perfect. But yeah, I have doubts considering these are games for older players, of course. Yeah, I think we have to still go back here. Yeah, we have to go back a while and go back to those parts. Those vertical parts. And yeah, we in the background we keep on hearing the typical music. Okay. Yeah, also with the pausing to check the map and so on, I have doubts we'll get the very best ending, but honestly if we get the second best or even third, yeah, I simply wanted to, if possible, avoid the worst endings. Okay, yeah. Now I think we have to go down. Yes, I think we have to go down to go to Norfair. Oh, let's be careful. Okay. Too bad that I can get that missile there. Yeah, let's get some health. And as you can see, we have lost the health in the energy tank. Okay, getting some missiles here. 感じも読めます。そうですか。私はこのメトロイドは増やしたことがありません。Yeah, this is one more. I just said in Japanese that I haven't finished, cleared this Metroid. And yeah, so yeah, here is the elevator to Norfair in the meantime. And yeah, so this series is an occasion for me to finally do so. Okay, now, yeah, it's of course loading. And yeah, we are now in Norfair. Okay, we get these statues. Okay, yeah, we have... we want to go to the left now. Yeah, we want to go to the left. Oh boy, this enemy takes a while to defeat. Oh boy, yeah. And yeah, now we are in Norfair, and yeah, you can also tell by the color, this is supposed to be lava. Oh boy, yeah, got stuck here. Yeah, let's actually go back in this case. Okay, we can get some missiles. And yeah, oh boy, yeah. As soon as I was about to say I'll pay attention, yeah, in response, but yeah, have to be careful about this, but even more so that enemy there. Oh boy, yeah, easier said than done with so little health. Give it one more try, like this. Oh boy, yeah, no. We'll try it, then I might go back to heal a little. Okay, actually did it here. I think now we might have a partner here with the bombs. Yeah, there was a bombable wall there. Kind of worried about... Okay, we are fine, sorry, but... So that was an issue. Oh boy, yeah, then we have another one of these, so we have to be careful here. Again, this... without health, it will be difficult. Yeah, we really have to wait. Okay. Somehow managed to avoid that one, but then there's the other one. So we have to be careful here. Okay, perfect. Then, oh boy, yeah, also with this enemy. Actually, we try to defeat that enemy here. Or make it spawn if possible. Yeah, easier said than done. Honestly, let's take the hit And yeah, so we get some health back. We had barely started Norfair. By the way, this way I think I might have also saved the game. Although we'll save with save states, by the way. Just so that we can stop at any time. Yeah, this is not the best. You know, I absolutely have to keep as much health as possible here. So let's go back. Took already one hit here. Yeah, this part with... Okay. I have some more health. Finally. Better if this enemy gives me some health here. Actually, let's use a missile. Perfect. Okay. Now we are talking. Okay, I can remove that. Yeah, we have to be careful again about this part. Took a hit, but we should be able... We have a bigger chance to do it this time. Of course, still by rewinding and having missed a lucky... Yeah, we don't have much room for taking hits anyway in this case. Yeah, no, I think I have to maybe wait. Yeah, I have to wait here and be careful about the second one. Perfect. Oh, okay, barely didn't make it there. Okay, now let's go back here. I think I've seen how to do it this time. Well, unfortunately, as you can see, it isn't actually regular. So yeah, it's easier said than done. Either way, but yeah. Let's actually go back at here. Nope. Okay, had a lucky one at the start here, but then it's an issue after. So it's honestly not the best. Yeah, in these situations, technically it would be better to go back and get some health. But even then, it's easier said than done, even that. Let's see. Ah, barely avoided. Barely got... Barely get hit there. Okay, with that, of course, then I have to avoid all this nonsense again. Okay, finally we can leave this room. I wonder if I can defeat that. Okay, this wasn't a smart move, bombing that. Let me quickly check. Well, okay. After that, I know where to go, but I wanted to see if we can defeat that enemy above, this one. Okay, yeah, I can defeat that. Not the other ones, unfortunately. Yeah, not the best spot for that. And of course we have more of these. This one stopped for some unknown reason. But we'll take it. Oh boy, yeah. One more of these. Okay, managed to do it. try to bomb this enemy. Well, not like that, of course. Okay. To see if we get some health. Well, not like that for sure. We have to be more careful here. Anyway. Let's see. Yeah, let's wait one more cycle here. Let's drop a bomb. Perfect, some health. Not enough to save us from one of those. So we have to be careful, but it might be useful later. Yeah, let's wait. Okay. Okay. Thank you. We have these enemies that they are easy to defeat, but don't give anything. But yeah, so far all that for more missiles. Well, they are quite useful, but not what we wanted to see for now, of course. We can actually use them. Yeah, I'll use them here. Hopefully, yeah, we get the health back again. Okay. Let me quickly see where we want to go. Okay, yeah, now we want to actually go back. So I'll actually take the... I die intentionally here to go back to the start of Norfair. Yeah, let's press continue. And yeah, this time let's go to the right. Let's go towards another item. Oh boy, this isn't the best. This is an occasion where I definitely want to use a missile to defeat that enemy. These we can ignore. To wait for this enemy. Okay, we did make the jump. Okay, let's... Oh boy. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think we can have simply to continue here. Yeah, we are already at this part actually. And go down. Oh boy. You know, I actually want to... Let's go back a little. Let's keep our health, please. Well, not like that, clearly. Let's get these. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, the enemies can be quite tough. Whatever. So, do it like this. Ow, of course it jumped when it was too late. These enemies are relentless, but hopefully... Okay, thank you for the health. Actually use some missiles in this case. Oh boy. It wasn't enough. Let's actually... Yeah, go back here. Not remove the missiles. And yeah, actually use it. Use some of them to get some health back here. Oh boy. I have to be careful of these. Yeah, no. without the missiles it's too risky. Okay. And now we can continue. Well, as soon as I can avoid all this nonsense. Oh boy. So. Yeah, easier said than done, all these. Okay, now we are fine. Hopefully I don't need the missiles for this door. If we need them, then it's going to be tough. Let's try to defeat this enemy this time. That we don't have additional parts. Perfect, some health back. Okay, let's destroy the... Of course, as soon as I make the jump, that one comes back. Okay, now we should be fine. Well, apart of course from the enemy. There. Okay, let's jump here. Let's jump here. Perfect. Ah, okay, it's actually... There's a part here with the Morph Ball. To use some bombs. Okay. Don't know about this enemy. Okay, perfect. That was a good idea. But I wonder if I can actually make this jump. Ah, okay. I see where I actually made a mistake, I think. Yeah, because here we clearly need a certain item, which is the one we are looking for. So yeah, I'll actually quickly take a quickly die. Yeah, at least we have seen this. Yeah, I got the map wrong. But yeah, this is faster. So yeah, we are back at the start of Norfair. We go to the right, that was correct. Shouldn't have used a missile there. Yeah, let's actually quickly go back. We are technically out of time, but I might quickly try to get to the item at least. Let's not take all these hits for nothing. Perfect. Okay, so we have some more health back also, which is really nice. We try to quickly defeat also these enemies. Oh boy. Actually lost more health than I got back. Yeah, let's defeat also this one. Perfect. Oops. Didn't want to use the missiles there. Let's remove them. Yeah, what we actually need to do, as we see soon enough, as soon as I leave this room. Well, I gotta take the missiles, thank you. Not the hit there, so we go back here. Have to make the jump here. Well, let's wait for the enemy to do its thing. Okay, perfect. Mostly take some... well, actually, let's do it properly here. Perfect. Let's... oh, okay, let's make the jump. And yeah, now we're back here. And yeah, my mistake was actually... well, apart from now taking this useless hits. One I'll take it, but yeah. We actually want to destroy these. Yeah, there's actually a secret here. Okay, let's go down. And yeah, I think this is actually where we want to go. Let me quickly check. Yeah, perfect. This should be it. Here. Oh boy, after that, these enemies. Oh boy, and I need some missiles. This isn't ideal at all. So let's actually go back to the start of the room here. Okay, let's go back here. Unfortunately, I think... Okay, there's actually one. There are some of these. Hopefully one of them can drop missiles. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now we can actually finally go back here. Perfect. Make the jumps. Avoiding those enemies' hits. Yeah, we can enter this door. We have an item. And yeah, it's the high jump boots. And yeah, so we finally have those. And yeah, we can jump way better, like this. And I'd say this is the perfect spot to stop. I'm quickly curious to see if then from here... technically... okay, technically I could take the hit, could die and restart from the start of Norfair. So I'll actually do that. Well, technically, sorry, let's do it like this, just to be completely sure. First, I save like this, as I don't know how saving works in this version. I'll then die here intentionally. Yeah, we have that disclaimer at bottom, but doesn't interest us. I'll save. We'll quickly check, well, after all this loading, of course. We'll quickly check save, of course, should send us back to the title screen, yeah, like in Zelda. And yeah, we have this, the save file, clearly. I'm curious to see where this will take us by loading it. Reminder that, yeah, it's the first time I play the Japanese version, which has proper saving, luckily. And yeah, actually, as I suspected, it actually takes you back to here. So let's actually load these. And yeah, I think yeah, we'll save with the save state, but I'll actually go back to the start of Norfair by taking the death anyway. Yeah, so I'll actually press continue. So yeah, there's proper saving, but still in that sense. And yeah, I'll actually save like this here. And yeah, so we can close the game. And yeah, so today we started Metroid, the Famicom version. We checked out the writings in it. I think actually all of them potentially. The story, the story intro, we could say, those in the file screen, file select screen, the loading, o Machi Kudasai, But yeah, after that we finally started playing the game. We got the Morph Ball, our first missiles, the long beam, bombs, the Morph Ball bombs. Well, also we got an energy tank, quite useful. So glad we did, we got that. Yeah, more missiles, but yeah, last but not least, the high jump boots. And yeah, so next time we'll continue from there. Next time, which unlike usual, we won't be on Monday, because next Monday is a holiday here in Italy. So we'll actually continue on Wednesday. But yeah, on Wednesday we'll continue from there. After getting the high jump boosts, we'll see where we will go next, following the map that I'm technically guide, but mostly map that I'm checking. And by the way, of course, on Sunday we play a different game, mostly just for fun, so without focusing on the Japanese, even though I might still make some comments about them. And yeah, unless something comes up, unless plans change, I was thinking of playing Tetris 99, taking part in the Kirby Air Riders Maximus Cup, I think it's called. But yeah, so playing some Tetris 99. Okay, so see you on Sunday for that. On Wednesday for the continuation of this Let's Learn Japanese with this series, the Metroid one. Okay, see you next time.